Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. Monday Night Raw is officially in the books. Had some interesting stuff on this show. The most exciting Raw, no, but we had The Miz join the Final Testament against the Wyatts after they set up the Final Testament beating up Miz, and he ends up having a real big blood spot by his eye. That was intense, but he ends up setting up the Wyatt sick. They end up getting beat, and it shows Uncle Howie's just laughing. He didn't care. We also had Damian Priest and Gunther have another face-to-face confrontation. They always have great promos against one another. Excited to see them have another match at Survivor Series War Games. They ended up setting up Ludwig Kaiser against Damian Priest on the show. Good match. Damian Priest ended up getting the win. We had Seth Rollins get recruited by both the OG and the new bloodline, and he said no to both, invitations. And I like what he said to Solo. He's the next time I'm in the ring with Roman Reigns, I want to be curb stomping him. And so I was like, that's the spirit, man. But he said, I also ain't ever going to team up with you. I'm never teaming up with Roman Reigns again. And Seth Rollins has to worry about Bronson Reed. They have a match next week. Really looking forward to that. They have another brawl on this show. We also got Braun Breaker and Sheamus next week on Raw. That should be a great match for the Intercontinental title. The one title Sheamus has not held in his fantastic WWE career. Doubt he wins it next week, but it would be cool to see him eventually win that, become a Grand Slam champion. And, we had a women's tag title match, which was only, unfortunately, 9 minutes on this show. But, what are you going to do with a 2-hour show? Before I get into that, New Day teased a breakup. Xavier Woods and Kofi, after Kofi got the loss against Pete Dunne, Xavier Woods screwed him. Who knows if it was on purpose or not? But man, it's gonna be unfortunate to see the New Day break up. They've been together for so long, and the anniversary show would be the perfect time to turn one of them heel. Looks like Xavier Woods gonna be the one to turn, but Kofi was showing he was a little irritated with Xavier Woods. And they had a back and forth saying like, "What are you doing, man?" And then Kofi's like, "Me? What about you? You've been losing and all this stuff." So New Day's just kind of ran its course, especially without Big E. There's been some fans who really say they don't really fit in this Triple H era in WWE. They've really done nothing in it really besides now. So I could agree with that to a certain extent. But the women's tag title match, again, main event, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, 9 minutes. I know a lot of fans are upset about that time, but in a 2-hour show, you can only fit so much in. I do get annoyed with WWE sometimes, because even on like a 3-hour Raw, they'll have like 10-minute, 12-minute main events. Now, obviously, you don't got to have a 20-minute main event every single week, but it'd be nice to see them get a little bit more time in these main events sometimes. And, it just don't seem like they always give it the amount of time it deserves. And 9-minute match, back and forth, a lot of women out in the locker room coming out at the end of the match. Nia and Tiffany tried interfering and screwing Belair and Cargill. That didn't work. And Cargill and Belair end up retaining. I mean, there's not really much to say about this match. Just it happened. And, I don't really see who's going to beat Cargill and Belair right now. They are just on fire. They teased them having a little bit of friction when Belair went to elbow, and she ends up almost elbowing Jade Cargill. And Jade's like, "What are you doing?" But that team's just dominant right now. And I think they're not going to break them up until they have a definite plan. And maybe they already do, but like a definite plan of a 1v1 match between those two. Maybe it's at WrestleMania this year. Maybe they do Charlotte and Belair. But man, they have been on a roll as tag team champions. And Naomi came out there after Tiffany tried distracting a ref again. And then Io Sky and Kairi Sane came in after the match. There was just a huge brawl breaking out. And the faces stand tall. So really, this overall show wasn't nothing like you go, "Oh, I missed this Raw, man." Like, it was kind of just them building up War Games and kind of putting a few matches on there and everything, but like nothing really that's like must watch on this show, I will say. And some Raws you're going to get like that. Some Raws, some AEW shows, some TNA shows, some SmackDown shows. It's just there's so many shows out there you can't have a great show every week. And some of y'all might have thought this was a great show, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not saying it's a bad show. It was just one of them Raws where it's just like, yeah, it happened. Let's move on to next week. So what's next for the tag titles is the big question. Like, are they going to set like a fatal four-way? I thought there would have been a chance that Liv and Raquel actually won when the interference happened, but clearly they didn't see that as the right direction right now. Maybe they set up a Tiffany and Nia against Belair and Cargill against Liv and Raquel Rodriguez, and Naomi teams up with Mia Yim. I still call her Mia Yim Michin. That'd be an interesting fatal four-way match. They just did a fatal four-way match, or maybe they do number one contenders. We'll see. The women's tag title's definitely been featured a little bit more, but we'll see. And, Gunther hit his 100 days as champion. We'll have to see how him and Priest continue to build up this feud. Who's going to be the fifth member of the Bloodlines teams? I've heard Cody's name mentioned a lot. I don't know if Cody would really. I guess it would make sense, but it'd be cool to see somebody else. Maybe Umaga's son, Zilla Fatu, I think you've been out. Maybe he shows up and joins the OG bloodline. And The Rock, I've heard he's going to be involved maybe in that match. So we'll have to see how they continue to build up this, shows leading up to War Games. But I do think Survivor Series War Games is going to be a very good show. So we'll have to see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment your thoughts on Raw, your favorite moment, anything you like down below. Peace.